transition and talk a bit about how you go about understanding your customers and their behaviors in today's environment. And I'd like to start by posing a question around the kinds of research techniques that you use to understand the needs and expectations of your customers.
With our different products and our different buyers, I think to your question, Moira, we've moved to doing more engagement measures. So where it used to be, do you like the product, not like the product? Are you satisfied with the product, not satisfied with the product? We really get down into the data that we collect on what parts of the product are being used, what parts of the product aren't being used, what areas of the product are being activated, what areas aren't.
I agree with Tim. We have so much information that is coming out of the actual use of the different physicians using the solution. And if you compare that towards how originally the expectations were set, well, this is what the IT department thinks, and then you compare towards the actual result, sometimes very different. So it's good to have that level of reference, but then also to present it back.
So I actually, for us, I was noticing when we actually use data now, we used to do a lot of pre-market testing, like let me see this feature and test it and then launch it against everybody. And now we're so impatient and it's reported data and not real data, so everything is live tested, and very few things besides NPS and maybe awareness are actually tested on a time series basis with real patients against it. So I do feel like we're evolving, but we're still not there. The biggest tension is every team wants to form the data differently. So for example, for marketing, one of the biggest things we want is reactionary data, right? So we want it at a minute level. So we want to basically say, when we marketed to you and you came in within this time period to the next time period, how does that play out?
I think if I could summarize a playback, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what I heard in terms of ways to trust but verify is one way is experimental design, to hypothesis test what you're seeing in the data. And validate that way. Another thing I think we heard is this idea of using a portfolio of research types, both qualitative and quantitative. I mean, right now we've got access to so much more behavioral data than we had even 2 or 3 years ago. But still, I don't think that means that the role of qualitative research is going to go away completely.
Despite all, I think the NPS is probably the best and largest measure of the health of your customer experience. Yeah, we've spent a lot of time on the customer journey map, not only on developing the map, but also blending it with our own tools and other analytics tools like Omniture, and then lining up our we call them assets. They don't necessarily have to be physical assets. They can be events, or they could be white papers, they could be podcasts, they could be et cetera, and lining them up with the different stages of that customer journey.